From the author of Spinsterella, the strange and unusual romance and spellbound, a darker shade of black comes the legendary Matilda. Pick up the conclusions of the Spinsterella trilogy in paperback and e-readers this Halloween. There's been an escalation between North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un and President Donald Trump's rhetoric, and when I listen to their rhetoric, both men clearly show me how both men are clearly grossly unqualified for being leaders of both countries. When I look at your Kim Jong-un and your Donald Trump, I see two males who grew up in privilege and two males who never really had to go through any sort of hardship. And because these two males never had to go through any sort of hardship, they don't appreciate the state of the world that they're in. When it comes down to both of your Kim Jong-un and your Donald Trump, both of these guys are living in their own world and they don't think about the world of everyone else. And as they fire off their rhetoric and Kim Jong-un fires off missiles, they don't think about the consequences of their actions. And one of the reasons I believe that they don't think about the consequences of their actions is because neither of these men have ever experienced war. Neither of these men have ever experienced the horrors of war, because your Donald Trump deferred his draft almost 5 times, and your Kim Jong-un grew up in a life filled with privilege. And because these two men grew up with a life filled with privilege, they don't understand what they're doing to the world of everyone else. When it comes down to these two narcissists, they're only thinking about their ego, and they only want to show out to each other. They're not thinking about the needs of others, the lives of others, or the concerns of others. It's all about their ego, and it's all about trumping one's ego over the other. And this escalation of war of words and war of weapons could put the world on the brink of destruction. When I look at these two guys, I see two males who are unfit for leadership because both of them come from a world of privilege, a world of luxury, and all they think about is what is related to their ego, not thinking about trying to do what is best for the needs of the people. A leader is someone who thinks about what is in the best interest of the people, the best needs of the people, and puts the needs of the many over the needs of the few. When it comes down to your Kim Jong-un and your Donald Trump, neither man is thinking about the needs of the many. All they're thinking about is the needs of themselves, and that's putting everyone's life at risk with this war of words, this rhetoric, and this escalation where things could turn for the worse. When I look at this North Korea situation, I see a situation where both leaders are not really thinking critically, and they're not thinking critically because, again, like many people who've grown up over the last, I'd say, 25 years, they have never really experienced any sort of hardship. Those who have gone to war and those who have experienced war, or those who have experienced poverty, or those who have struggled, understand what can be lost. And because they understand what can be lost or what has been lost, they appreciate what they have right now, and they always make efforts to protect and maintain what they have right now. When I look at the state of America and I look at North Korea, I see people who have taken their lives for granted, and I see people who have taken their existence on this earth for granted, and they don't appreciate what this world is. And because they don't appreciate it, they think that they can toss away people's lives with these wars and escalate things to a war situation, not understanding the human cost of a war. Because I don't think anyone has ever, because people haven't experienced a real world war in 60 years, they don't understand what they're doing. They're too busy feeling to think, and when you don't think, it can have drastic and diabolical ramifications. And when I look at your Kim Jong-un, here's a guy, all he wants to do is hold to these nuclear weapons, not understanding that those nuclear weapons have cost him connections to the world and have cost him the chance to really build his country up. Because what good is a nuclear weapon if you cannot build your own economy? The North Korean economy over the last 60 years has died while he's sitting in a lap of luxury, and he's not looking at the needs of his people. He's only thinking about himself, and that's how he's literally betrayed his own communist beliefs. And your Donald Trump is slowly starting to betray his own capitalist ideals, because he's going into this war of words, bantering back and forth with this guy, like a guy who comes from a single mother household, because that's the way both of these guys are behaving, like guys from single mother households, going back and forth with each other, bickering and arguing, but not thinking about the needs of other people. And this is the way many of these guys from these single mother households behave. All they think about is, how they're feeling about things and what they want, but they're not thinking about the needs of others or the consequences and ramifications of their words and their actions. When I look at this whole North Korea situation, again, I look at two men who are not fit to be leaders and two men who are not thinking about the needs of all the people. All they're thinking about is what they want, how they feel, and what they can get out of the situation, not thinking about what this situation could cost everyone all across the world. If you'd like to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon by clicking the link in the description box. And if you'd like to try some of my SJS Direct titles, you may do so by clicking the link to Amazon.com. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.